Hi everyone, I'm Anthony, and welcome back to this video series all about getting started using Dorico SE, the free music notation software from Steinberg. In this video, we're going to look at some of the more advanced features on offer to make working in Dorico SE quicker and more powerful. I'm going to show you how to add new flows of music to your project so you can write a whole songbook or piano sonata in 3 movements, all in the same file. We'll look at editing playback in play mode, and I'll show you how to make your music look like it's been written out by hand. But first, I'm going to introduce you to one of Dorico's most powerful time savers, popovers. I've talked about how I prefer to enter music using my computer keyboard rather than the mouse. And part of the reason why is that you can actually create pretty much every type of music item using the keyboard. Every category of music notation has its own popover, used for creating items in the score. Popovers can be opened when there is a selection in the music, and you press Shift plus, generally speaking, the first letter of that notation. For example, if I press Shift K, I open the key signatures popover. Now I can type an uppercase letter to get a major key, or a lowercase letter to get the minor key. Use the hash symbol for a sharp and a lowercase b for a flat. Shift T opens the tempo popover. Start to type a common tempo marking, and it will appear in the drop-down. Because T is for tempo, we can't use it for time signatures, so we type Shift M for meter. Try things like 4/4 or 6/8. Use a number after a comma for an upbeat. Shift D is for dynamics, and see how you can input multiple items over a selection all at once. You can input pretty much anything you can think of this way. Look in the right menu to see what the key commands are for the various popovers, and then just try typing what you're looking for, and Dorico will generally understand what you mean. Many of Dorico's other features can be accessed via key commands as well, and learning some of these shortcuts is an excellent way of speeding up your workflow in the program. You can even set your own. Open Preferences and switch to the Key Commands page. Browse through the list to see the dozens of available commands that can be assigned shortcuts. If a command already has a shortcut, it will show in the list. If it doesn't, and you'd like to give it one, click here and then press your desired shortcut on the keyboard. As long as it doesn't conflict with an existing command, you're able to add it. You can click this button at any time to generate a page in your default web browser that shows you all key commands, both as a list, but also on this handy interactive keyboard graphic. A hugely powerful feature of Dorico is that you can have multiple pieces of music all in the same project. We call these different pieces of music flows. And they can be different songs in a songbook or album. They could be different movements in a piano or violin sonata, or even just a collection of thematic ideas that you use as a sketchbook while you work. To add a new flow, switch to Setup mode and press the Add button in the Flows panel. Being able to work on separate movements or songs in this way, without having to load different projects, is incredibly useful, especially when you think that you can print them all at once. If you don't want one of your instruments in a flow, select that flow and simply uncheck the player in the panel. Similarly, if you don't want one of your flows to show in the layout, perhaps because you were using the theme sketchbook idea, select the layout and uncheck the flow. You can have any combination of players, flows, and layouts that you need, making it a really flexible way of being able to view what you want when you need it. We've touched a little on play mode in previous videos, but there are many editing features that can really improve the playback of your music. Firstly, you can use play mode as a standard piano roll editor, changing the pitches of notes by dragging them higher or lower in the display. This updates the notation, as does creating new notes or indeed deleting them. You can edit the start and end positions of existing notes by enabling notated durations in the toolbox. If you enable played durations,
which is the default, then dragging the start and end positions of notes only affects how they play back, which means you can add the human touch to notes, making them a little longer or shorter than normal as necessary. And the notation isn't affected. You can get back to Dorico's default for any selected notes by choosing Play, Reset Playback Overrides. Open automation lanes to edit the dynamics, velocity, or MIDI controllers for each instrument, and use the Draw tool to add nuance to the playback performance. Finally, you can change the entire look of your music so that it appears like it's been handwritten. From the Edit menu, choose Music Fonts. We've created 2 music fonts that are used for all of the musical symbols in Dorico. By default, Dorico uses Bravura, but you can change this to Petaluma, and now everything in your score will look like it has been written out by hand. Of course, there's loads more that Dorico can do, such as being able to write music using insert mode that shuffles all subsequent music further on to make space for the new notes. You can create complex yet flexible tuplets that are easy to edit and work with. You can input music on top of an existing line using chord mode, and the original doesn't get lost. There are features for all kinds of music genre so that you can write in the style that suits you, writing osiers or using special note heads. You can use any sound libraries that you already own with Dorico by loading them in the VST Instruments panel and routing your instruments to them. The good news is that there are dozens of videos on our YouTube channel that detail how to do all of this. And even though many of them use Dorico Pro for the tutorial, these features work the same in all versions of Dorico. There's also a dedicated forum on the Steinberg website that is a mine of information about all things Dorico. I'll look forward to seeing you there.
These are just a few of the powerful features Dorico SE has that make creating music quick, easy, and fun, but that result in music notation that looks incredible and sounds great. I really hope you've enjoyed this series, getting to know your way around Dorico SE. And once you're ready, why don't you take your Dorico journey to the next level by upgrading to Dorico Elements? Watch my next video to discover the additional power and flexibility Dorico Elements can give you. Meanwhile, if this video has been helpful, I'd really appreciate a like. Make sure you're subscribed to the Dorico channel to hear about all our other videos, and please leave a comment with any questions. Thanks for watching. See you soon.